Bipolar Rollers, welcome back. I've made several videos in the past about the importance of having the right partner if you have bipolar. How it could make or break your condition. And I meant it, but here's what I think. I think, and let me know if you can relate to this, because I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments, but I think that as people with bipolar, I think we're often confused before we're diagnosed, often chaotic. We don't understand our emotions. We don't get what's happening to us. It's really confusing. When your mind becomes your enemy and people notice and you feel alien, to them. You feel alien to yourself. It's very confusing. During that time, there's probably things that have happened that really made it obvious to you. Hey, something's not right here, So life happens. Actions happen. Things you say happen that further drive home the point that, something's going on and you need to figure it out. So you go and you get a diagnosis, find out what's happening. Bipolar, they say. Obviously, you're going to look into it. Obviously, you're going to try to figure out what you have, what you can do about it, what symptoms there are. It can be a really scary time. And you're feeling insecure and kind of down on yourself. You realize now that, hey, you're not what people used to call normal. You have a problem, right? And you got to deal with it. And the way that they try to get you to deal with it is they load you up full of chemicals, and they're just throwing darts on a board blindly, trying to find that right combination that might stabilize you. All your highs down, all your lows up, flatline. You feel nothing, really. Everything is just meh. That doesn't sound very exciting or scary, but it is. It is very scary when you feel like you can't feel anything anymore, when nothing gives you joy. What we know about these drugs now is that eventually they either you have to keep increasing steadily the dose, or they just stop working altogether and cause a host of other problems. So you're trapped here. What do you do? Well, there's lots of things you can do. I think they've worked for me, but I'll admit they are hard to make it into a habit, a lasting habit. It's difficult. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And I admire anyone who sticks to it, because, man, it takes some dedication to eat right, plenty of exercise, lots of sleep, therapy, meditation, huge. And just as most of you know, bipolar people are for the most part, very creative. They kind of lean towards that a little bit. And so find something that helps you express yourself, in a healthy and productive way. And then, only then, when you have gotten comfortable with yourself and feel that you are relatively in control, that's when you should even consider entertaining the thought of finding a partner. You see, that's what we don't do. During that time when we're struggling with our condition, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to figure out who we are, we make the worst decisions when it comes to finding your soul partner, you know, the love of your life. It's difficult to even figure out how you feel that day, much less how to navigate something as beautiful and complex as a relationship. So you make a bunch of mistakes. You maybe pick people that might have been good for somebody, but definitely not for you. You know? Someone who doesn't compliment you as a person, but whose qualities or what they bring to the table actually undermine what you bring to the table. So you guys almost cancel each other out. It's, you know, it's an unhealthy time. An unhealthy time to make serious decisions. And I empathize with some of the, you know, the emails that I get from you guys about some of the relationships that you've been in and how either your partner turned out to be something completely different than who you thought, or you tanked the relationship by the self-sabotaging that sometimes comes with, you know, extreme bipolar symptoms, condition. The condition is in itself, in a lot of ways, self-sabotaging, you know. So, in my very long-winded way, what I'm trying to say is that choose your partner wisely, but do it when you're of sound mind, you know. Whatever you think that is, you'll know it when you feel it, you know. And I know it takes a while to get there, and who wants to wait till then, right? I mean, lonely, wanting to share life's experiences with, someone in your corner, someone you could cheer on, to love, to cherish. Who doesn't want that? But man, some of the things that have happened to me in my life because of my poor choices, who I chose to associate with, who I choose to trust. This thing I shouldn't have trusted, you know. This thing always meant well, but not. I'm pointing on the right side. What the hell? I know where the heart is, okay? I'm just saying, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Because then you end up having people in your life who hate you forever, you know? They can't get over it. When at our lowest, our self-esteem tells us, you know, that we're worth nothing, that we don't mean anything to anyone. But boy, do we sure mean a lot to those people. They just can't stop, you know, trying to punish you for the worst time of your life. Like that wasn't bad enough. That's what could happen to you, because untreated bipolar can be dangerous to you, to others. It's you make poor decisions and you choose the wrong company a lot of the time because you're hurting. You're hurting so bad and you just don't want to do it alone, you know? And your judgment's just skewed. So I guess overall I'm just saying, choose that partner with your purest intention in your heart. Not to get something out of them, but to give to them once you've discovered the magic that can come with bipolar. Because I don't believe that God makes mistakes. And I think if you were given bipolar, sure, it can feel like a curse, but you can make it a blessing. And one of those blessings is to bring that unique quality that you bring to as a person. Sorry, my boy Hank is trying to interrupt the video here. But share with that special person the unique gifts that come with being bipolar. You know, just suppress the crap that comes with it too, and just let the diamond shine through the mud, you know. And that's when you know that it's time. When you feel it in your heart that what you want to do is to give to somebody, you know. And you don't feel that way when you're in the midst of all the episodes and the problems that come with bipolar. You feel that way when you think, okay, I think I got this. You know? And of course, I feel like you don't need to get there with pharmaceuticals, but there are cases where it's probably a good idea if the other options aren't working for you. Of course, you know, don't be a menace to society, and don't be a menace to yourself, because you deserve a good life too. It's not your fault you have bipolar, but what you do with it makes a big difference. One of the things I highly recommend doing with it is finding an amazing partner that you can't help but love to death. So, for all you bipolar rollers out there, I hope you find the same happiness that I have. Represent.